Review. This is typically for a brand new helper who's never seen the moving industry. It might be great to show them this if you hire new people. They can spend a few minutes watching this and just get a little gist of what to do when on the job. So you've made the cut. So if you're new to the industry, welcome. This is an opportunity for you to understand your role as a helper and begin to understand the moving process. There are many new skills to be learned and taught, and this is a great opportunity for you. So it's your first day on the job. United Van Lines, Mayflower, Canada, we're a professional moving company with an impeccable reputation. And our customers, our crews, we have to learn to be respectful, knowledgeable, and be on time. This is where your crew leader will demonstrate to you how to perform the different various tasks of the moving industry. We don't want you to feel overwhelmed. It'll take some time, but we want you to have the confidence when you're on the job, and we want you to be able to work effectively with other crew members. And of course, we spent a lot of time understanding these 5 words is to provide a higher standard of care. Well, let's start off with personal hygiene. Are you presentable? Our crews must represent a professional image to our customer and the public. You only have a few minutes for that customer to form their first impression of you. So, of course, have you showered, shaved, do you have groomed hair, do you smell good, and do you carry extra t-shirts with you? On screen. Well, one of the most important things is to be on time. We want you to be on time for work because crews, trucks, and customers are depending on you. So you always want to make sure you allow enough time to get to work and also consider the weather. And if you're going to be late, please call your dispatch and let them know where you are and when you'll be in. Did you pack yourself lunch, water? Never assume that lunch is going to be provided for you. One of the things that we want all our helpers and drivers and crews to wear is to have a uniform shirt of some sort, and we want what we call identifiable workwear, and we call these helper t-shirts. So we allow that with your company name on it, and also it's okay for you to wear long pants or shorts in the summer, black or blue. Jeans is a no-no. Always carry extra t-shirts just in case. Muscle shirts is something that we do not like our helpers to wear. We want you to look very professional, and when you all look the same, it sure does make a first good impression to the customer. Make sure to wear non-slip footwear, like a good running shoe would work. And if you're wearing a baseball cap, it must be a United Van Lines or Mayflower cap or your member company cap. And make sure to wear your cap respectfully. You only have one chance to make a first good impression to that customer. We always like to arrive at residence with a nice clean vehicle. It sure does make a good first impression when you're driving down the road with a nice clean truck. So on your way to residence, this is where your crew leader will spend a few minutes talking to you to find out what experience you may have and tell you what your role will be for the day. If you carry a backpack, we don't want you to bring it into the residence. Leave it in the truck. If you carry a cell phone, it should be left in the truck or put on vibrate. I'm sure the customer doesn't want you to see you on the cell phone when you're in their home. So if you need to take a phone call, then take the phone, take it outside and make your phone call, but do not use your phone in the residence while you're working. Are you a smoker? Well, if you're a smoker, you should stop smoking at least 10 minutes before you get to residence. You don't want to smell like smoke when you get to meet the customer. Some customers may be allergic to smoke and don't want their house to smell like smoke. One of the things that you must remember is we don't want you to smoke on the customer's property or in the back of the truck. And make sure that you have a container for your cigarette butts. But if you are going to smoke, make sure you smoke at the front of the truck out of view of the customer. Do not smoke on the customer's property. Greeting the customers is very important. It's the first start of the day. This is where all the crew will meet the customer all at the same time. So when you arrive at residence with the truck, you're all going to get out of the truck in uniform, all looking the same, walk up to the customer's door, have a great smile. This is where your crew leader will do the formal introductions. And this is where you'll address the customer as a Mr. or a Mrs. or a doctor, or if it's a military person, by rank. This is where your crew leader will also ask for a tour of the residence to show what is going or what is not. So all helpers must be part of this tour. You don't want to be asking questions to the customer when they've already explained it once during the tour. So pay attention during the tour. Now if you're delivering a shipment, this is where the customer will show you where all the furniture is to be placed. And this is where also the crew leader will ask which bathroom can be used. Never assume you can use any bathroom. It's always good practice to ask the customer, and the customer will address you as to which bathroom to be used. We have a code of conduct. Just remember, the customer is not your friend. But they don't have to be professional, but guess what? You do. So you must always be respectful. You must show your care. If there are any questions from the customer, if the customer asks you a question, you don't always have the answer. So make sure you see your crew leader, because you may not know what he has planned. So be careful what you say in the customer's residence as well. One of the tools that we use at the residence when we arrive, these are called floor runners. So when you arrive at residence, we want to be proactive, right? Always have runners under arm when meeting the customer. A floor runner is a non-slip rubber membrane used to cover most areas in the residence, and usually where there's the most traffic. The runners protect the floors from scratches, dings, as well as keeping the floors clean. It's always good to have lots of floor runners on the truck. The floor runners are also used to protect stairs. So if you're going to use floor runners on the stairs, make sure to tape the runners onto the staircase. If it's a wood stair, then painter's tape usually holds the runners in place. If it's carpet, use packing tape. But always remember, as you're going up and down the stairs, your runners may move, so always spend a few minutes and fix your runners so no one will get injured. As you can see in this photograph, double wide runners at the front entrance is a very good practice. So always have enough runners. A typical runner is between 12 and 16 feet. Runners should be clean. It sure does make a first good impression. So just make sure that when you're finished, make sure to roll them up, shake them, or sweep them, so that way they're ready for your next move. And do not remove those floor runners until you finish working in a particular area. One of the other tools we use is called the walkboard. As you can see in this photograph, a walkboard is used to move your furniture up or down out of the trailer. So once the parking location has been confirmed, then the walkboard can be set up. It's a normal standard task for helpers to do. It's a two-person job. So just make sure when you do set the walkboard down onto the walkway to make sure you protect the pavement by putting a piece of cardboard or a piece of carpet to prevent any damage to the driveway. As you can see in the photograph where the arrow is showing, that's where the walkboard, in the belly boxes is where the walkboard is located. Another tool that we use are called furniture blankets, or as most of the movers call them, as pads. A furniture blanket is a thick quilted blanket used to wrap most furniture pieces. So furniture pads are carried into the residence, and they're put in stacks in the different rooms where the furniture is. So there's different ways that you can carry them handheld, or you can carry them with a two-wheeler, as you can see in the photograph. But only bring in as much as you need. You don't want to overwhelm the customer. So blankets are used over and over. They're one of your tools. We want to keep them clean. When folding pads, make sure they're neatly stacked, lighter color to the inside, as you can see in this photograph in the trailer. When wrapping a piece of furniture, one of the things that we don't want you to do is to try and avoid stepping on the pad, because a lot of times you may have grit underfoot which can get onto the furniture and possibly scrape that furniture. Remember, when you have to pull a piece of furniture or an appliance away from the wall, do not drag it. You must lift it. So lift it out or put a pad underneath it, and so that way you'll be able to pull it out. And that way you'll prevent any damage to the floor. If it's too heavy to move, ask for help. Another tool that we have is called a space saver or a skin. A space savers or skins are a lightweight moving blanket or pad that are non-quilted, and they're not as bulky as the moving blanket. Space savers have a smooth side and or a rough side. So space savers are used for smaller items or garage items. Use the burlap side for garden tools. Sometimes they could be used along with a furniture pad, like when wrapping a sofa or a stove.